What up, TLA fam? Oh, I'm a little out of breath right now. Been running to get here. Had to get my son set up. He decided he wanted to eat at the very last second, so to run up there, get him set up, make sure everything good. Come down here to talk to you fine folks tonight. How's everyone doing out there? We're going to be having the owner of Crafted Culture Brewing out of Columbus, Ohio, my main man Sizzle. He's coming on for a little bit today at some point to talk everything crafted culture, talk the science of brewing, and a hell of a lot more. A hell of a lot more. I got a woosah, give me some water. But I'm also going to be trying the new G4 Blanco Premium. It is their high ABV. It is their 45%, aka 90 proof. They did something different with this. It's produced by Felipe Camarina. They did something different with this. I cannot remember what they did different with this. But yeah, it's out of Nam, 1579. So, I'm gonna be drinking that as well. And then I'm gonna pour up, give my thoughts on some Fortaleza Winter Blend 2022 edition. I've already tapped into this, as you can see, but this is the 2022 edition. I have the 2021 edition right behind there. So I may do a comparison, just depends on how much I want to drink tonight. And I also have the new Lagunitas annual release. It's their Willet Ties, so it's their coffee stout aged in rye oak barrels. And I'm telling y'all, as a rye guy, this shit fucking hits. You get that hint of rye and that deep coffee mixed together. When you're first drinking it, it punches you so much harder. Has that strong coffee stout. Honestly, it's not like a breakfast stout, like an oatmeal stout. It definitely has that barrel influence and has more of the the dominant flavors in this are the coffee and that rye influence. Everyone, if you drink beer, you got to try this one out. The Lagunitas Willetized. This is definitely something that I'm gonna buy some more of. I think I only paid $14 for it. $14 for a 4-pack. So, not that bad for a 4-pack. Obviously, there's their annual release. A lot of other people that have their annual release, they come out with, I do love some Lagunitas. Yeah. This is, if you love Lagunitas and you love stout, this is their version. It's pretty damn good. I'll be honest with you. When I first cracked this open, I first had like a couple sips of it. I hadn't had anything to drink, anything like that. I was still mainly in dad mode because I'm helping my son with his homework. So when I first had it, I'm like, okay, this shit is a little off. Like I wasn't expecting it to punch that much. I wasn't expecting it for it to be a legit strong stout. Like I was like, okay, it's Lagunitas. Like they make stuff, but how about the E.H. Taylor blended barley wine stout? I have not, but that sounds absolutely amazing. I've never even knew that it existed. Never knew. If you have some down there, I will happily send you the money to send me up a package of it. What up, Kenny? By the way, Edwin, Kenny, if y'all want to hop on, I'm waiting on Sizzle and Window. So when both of them come on, sending you a pic. All right, cool with me. I mean, do y'all have it down there? Like, do you have it down there where you can buy a 4-pack for me and send it up? But no. So waiting on them. Sizzle is he's not gonna be able to join the whole time. I don't know if he's gonna be able to join later in the night or to start and then, but he's gonna be on here at some point tonight. So Kenny, Edwin, I'll send you in putting the baby down. Um, there's main man Wendell. Let's see, trying to get him on here. All right, there we go. What up, bro? I can't hear you. Hold on. Hello? I can't hear anything. I can hear you now. Hello? All right, cool. You got the headset now.
Well, I just cut them off. They
Uh,
going. I've been trying to cut them in and cut them out, so I guess it was halfway.
okay.
So I'm like, I just cut them off.
All good. Now, so Sizzle's gonna come on at some point today.
Okay.
He said that he's not gonna be able to join us the whole time, but he's gonna join us at some point and stay for the duration that he's available to stay.
Okay.
So I was talking about this stout that I have, this Lagunitas willetized
Okay.
coffee stout aged in rye oak barrels.
Yeah, I had the Willow Ties before.
You
Long
did?
time ago, though. How is it?
It's hitting, man. Like one, two of these, like they're not hitting like your beer, but it's like I didn't. So when I first sipped it, I was helping my son with his homework, and
Okay.
when I first sipped it, I'm like, damn, like this shit is like it punched me in the fucking face. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that strong, you know. The ABV is 13.1 is the
Okay.
ABV on this.
All right.
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting that. I thought it would be okay, like it's Lagunitas, like what their brews are like, what 5%, 6%, something like that.
Well, they got a range, they got a few in that range you at.
Okay, I
But
just
normally
drank too
they're in
much
that,
fucking.
that under 10 range. They got quite a few.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought it was, I thought it was gonna be around that range. I didn't think it was like it didn't hit me until Edwin just asked what the ABV is to ask. Edwin, what up, sisters? Edwin, if you can hop on, man, send me a request. I know you got the baby, so I don't know. I don't want to send you the request and your wife, want to punch me or whatever. What up? Who killed Kenny?
What's going on with your player? How
Not
y'all living
much.
over there?
Hey,
Good.
I'm having a good time.
I'm waiting to see what this announcement talking on. You know what I'm saying? Waiting to see this announcement hitting about.
He hit me in a text. He said he let me know that he wouldn't be able to join the whole time, so I didn't know if it was uh, early in the day, early in the live or later in the live. But I don't know. Like, there's certain portion of it I'm gonna wait for him to get on.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
I'm just talking shit.
no. We can talk about some of it because this window I already know I'm starting to get back into like really consulting and helping brands really grow using my contacts and everything. So we talked about that. Is that the Master Nobel?
Yep.
Yeah. So we talked about that. So we're looking at making a deal in that way to help with the growth strategy here in Chicago. Um, he is going to be coming to TLA members only. Uh, we're just working out the details on that. So if you are a TLA members only member, you're going to be able to get crafted culture brews uh, with a TLA discount coming up very soon.
Okay.
Um,
Big in it.
yeah, so we're gonna have, and then like another thing we're gonna do is he's gonna have like maybe he makes a limited edition or he has like you know some cases that he's like, okay, I wanna use as a TLA special, you know, saying like, okay, I have 6 cases of this, and you guys will have a week to buy those cases at that discounted price. So we'll bring that to TLA, get you guys some discounted crafted culture brews uh, on multiple different scales, and then the rest I'll wait for him to join for us to really
Go
dive
ahead.
in.
Eat. I guess let me go ahead and pour up something to drink on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
because
gonna
there
say,
could be some stuff offline. Me and you gonna be talking about. I'm trying to figure out.
yeah, you know to call me, man.
Yeah, trying to work on options.
Let's do it. Just work on the options, work them out, talk them out, weigh the benefits, weigh the cons, and we go from there. You know, uh, that is one thing that I decided. That I'm happy that I decided to make that's a portion of TLA that a lot of people don't know about. But that I am about to talk about a little bit right now is like that consulting side, like the helping with the brand growth side of things. You know, that shit is fun as hell to me. You know, like when I was doing it in the corporate world, it was like, okay, this is fun, but like I had to always like make sure I don't say this or make sure I don't say
Yeah,
that, make sure that this contract is in place, and but like the difference in the liquor industry, the liquor and tobacco industry is like the the art side of things, the creation side of things play a lot more, the mental side of things play a lot more into the business growth as opposed to the exact X's and O's,
yep.
you know. So I'm happy I added this to that portion of TLA. But when we gonna see your brews, man? When we gonna see your brews? Both of y'all's. Kenny, I didn't even try one of your brews.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm actually putting some. I actually just talked with one of the homies today, and I'm waiting for him to come back. But we got something going on. We're gonna do some college kids around. Um, I'm actually putting together a recipe. Uh, I'm just about finished with it, to be honest, with the hip hops collab. So gonna have some stuff coming. Gonna have some stuff coming your way.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Me,
are
I
you?
got I got 20 gallons of that barley wine braggot. I got the ale version of the cranberry purple sweet potato. That's about done. Um, the braggot version of it is right behind it. So right now that's chilling. I got to add the cranberries pretty soon. I did the sweet potatoes after I dropped it to the bright tank. So I got to check that because I was up in Virginia for the beginning of the week, so for my job. So now I'm back trying to catch up. This last 2 days have been hectic. So I got to touch on all that do this week and week. I had to auto small the wine cappers.
Yeah,
I had to auto small that, so that's here. I mean, I got enough bottle to bottle some stuff up, but I'm about to get some more braggot bottles. Um, so I'm probably going to split it between both of them for now until I got more coming in. I got to finish creating the labels for those. I'm about to do a test batch for B Rick T.
What is that?
Yeah, I was gonna say what.
So I'm gonna do 2 versions of it. The regular version I'll probably test out with my man right there for his February thing, and then I'm gonna do a barrel version of it for Barrel and Flow. So I'm gonna do a little testing of it, but basically I'm gonna make my version of a iced tea.
All right.
So it's gonna be a single malt black tea. There's gonna be a bracket. So for the sweetness, it's gonna be honey. And I'm debating if I'm gonna make a lemon sweet tea. So it'll have lemon pills and lemon, so it'll be
So a
similar to like a
limoncello
bracket.
sweet tea.
It'd be similar to that. So it's gonna have the pills, but I know for some people that's too much. So I'll probably add more of the lemon juice to it to even it more out. So that'll be the regular version, and then I'm gonna do a barrel version for Barrel and Flow.
What up, Desi? No,
What up,
honestly, man, I would say do both, man. Fuck, like do one for like the people that love like the extremes of your creations. Like I would want that one where it's like the limoncello combined with like a great tea. Like there'll be like a hibiscus lemonade in essence, like alcoholic hibiscus lemonade. Like that sounds dope as fuck.
So so I'm gonna make a test batch to play with the version to see how I like it. I mean, I got 2 ways of thinking about it, so I'm gonna try it both ways on my small scale. You know, but then I'm gonna do, like I
Tea
said,
beer.
huh?
Blackball said tea beer. Like yeah, tea bracket, a tea beer, a tea a tea limoncello. Not
So it'd be in my normal range.
Cheers, Pi.
So
What up, Pi?
gotta come up with a nice label for it, but we're gonna call it B Brick Tea. So it's basically brick tea, but it's gonna be a B,
Yeah.
Rick, and then the capital letter T.
Oh, like
Brick tea.
your honeycomb, like your logo.
Yeah, we're gonna play with it, but it's gonna call B Rick T. So it'll be like brick tea, but it'll be a B for the B. Yeah, so it'll have a B for the B, and then Rick, and capital letters, capital R-I-C-K, and then capital T. So that'll be my version of brick tea.
Oh man, you gotta make it like you have to make it as strong as this limoncello. Like trust me, like bro, you need like when you get legalized and you can sell this shit legally, like
Then I can make a version like that.
no,
I told you I
like
got ideas in my head, and plus I'm making a hummingbird bracket for Barrel and Flow. So I'm gonna be doing that soon. So that's basically banana. So that's basically banana, pineapple, and pecans.
bro, you come up with some crazy stuff.
Sound like some good shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make a cake. They make a cake version of that. So I'm gonna turn that into a drinking experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
I'm sliding your DMs on that one, Shred.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure that's not too far from me. That's like 4 hours. So
That ain't that far.
no, I said it's not that far from me.
Yeah.
It's not that far. So yeah, what's up? I enjoyed
What up,
the
Kelton?
playing.
What up, all the new people?
What up, Yoda?
Pi didn't want to join until we get Sizzle in here. Anyone else want to join until we get Sizzle in here? Just send a request. Right now, we're just talking. We're just bullshitting and talking.
Yeah, you know me. I just tried some crazy stuff. You know me. I told you I got ideas for days. I'm making a different version of Samel probably this month. Also, I'm gonna use a different honey. And then some of that I'm gonna do an experiment and make a limoncello out of it. Because eventually I want to do it all for my stuff. So I'm gonna make a Samel version of limoncello.
All right. Okay.
Hey. Sound like interesting stuff.
Look, man, I'm happy to be your taste tester. And just send fucking boxes. Send bottles,
So this right here, you can see how it sticks and slides down the glass. So this is the cranberry purple sweet potato ale right here.
Yeah, that ale looks
So this
crazy.
is the lumberjack. So you see how dark it is.
Yeah. That's as dark as this.
Yeah, and the other version is as dark, but the tastes are different. Even the mouthfeel is slightly different, but it clings to the glass too and slides down.
All right.
And then
All
of
right,
course this is the barley
all right.
this is the barley wine right here that you can kind of
that
see
looks
through.
fire. That looks fire.
So that's the barley wine bracket right here. So this is at 21. This is at 21, and the bracket's at 22.5.
I mean, you can sit whenever you want to send a package for me to taste test. You have my address.
Yep. So as soon as I get all them bottles, I'm halfway. I halfway got the the blueberry is halfway packaged. Like I said, I had to wait for some more bottle tops and stuff. So
nice.
On my printer, as you see, I got a whole bunch of labels printed. So I got to start labeling some more bottles. So I got them in cases right now. So I got about the cases of 12, and I got probably about 6 or 7 of them already boxed up. So just trying to box them up.
Box them up and get them out.
Works for me. Hey, man. I want to, I'm happy that there's sales and everything already of that, and they're getting ready to get sent out. I'm just happy that my logo is on there and be a part of a, Mediterranean Beer Hut beer. Like, that's pretty dope to me, and for everyone to be like, oh, Tyler had a great fucking idea to add blueberries to this.
You
Probably
get
say
to piggyback off of it real quick.
What's that?
They get to piggyback off it real quick.
No, I like collaborations. So I have a collaboration with Master Bell. I have one with Codigo for a liquor store I used to consult for, and now I have it for Mediterranean Beer Hut. I think it's pretty dope to be a part of, and I have some other things coming down the pipeline that I just think is cool as hell. Like, so one other thing that we may have, myself and Jason, we've been throwing around the idea of accepting this offer to be a part of a hot sauce.
Okay.
Where they'll do like the TLA and Suburban Bourbon Dad logo for the tequila base. So it's a tequila infused hot sauce, and they'll have the TLA logo on there. And then and then we're talking about a bourbon based hot sauce as well. That would either have the TLA logo on there or the Suburban Bourbon Dad logo on there. So I just like collaborations. I think those are pretty fucking fun to do that. And then, my main goal is to have a tequila, not my main goal, but one of my goals now is to have a tequila with my logo, a part of the label, have my color scheme and my logo as the main label, and then be special edition of such and such,
Have you thought about that?
What's that?
Have you thought about, making your own tequila one of these days?
There's some things in the works of me. So I don't want to have my own label. I want to be a part of multiple labels. I want to be a part of multiple businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all right, I'll put my business hat on, my wealth growing hat on. If you're a person that does not want to own your own label in itself, which to me, there's different people that want to do that. you know, and I'm all for people that want to own their own label because I have this. TLA is mine, and then I'm branching out to be a part of it. But TLA is mine, you
Yeah.
know. So I 100% dig someone, you know, people wanting to just have just theirs, you know. But to me, I want to have mine, but I also, what up, Black?
What up?
What's up?
What up, folks?
But I also want to have like different portions of different brands and have just my logo strategically placed on on different special edition bottles and stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna talk with I'm gonna slide in your DMs one of these days. They got
I'm gonna
tomorrow.
put LeBron on one of them labels. I'm gonna have LeBron on it. Now, but yeah, Kenny, sorry, I just
But
had to
you
pie.
good. I'm gonna have to
Kenny, he
give
wants
you a
that.
call.
See, Kenny, he wants that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I want. So, hey, Asia, I text you back. I got some great ideas, Asia. But no,
What's up, Asia?
Who did your back? Oh,
so
she was
to
over
me,
here.
you know, I have a great network with a good amount of money that is looking to invest in businesses as well, and I just open it up even more to my network, and for the right businesses with the right business plans and you know the right opportunity, there's definitely you know there's definitely some stuff there. There's definitely more that we can expand on. You know what I mean? Any information about Mandala Tequila, is it good? I've tried Mandala Tequila. I do not have a bottle. I can tell you the flavor profile of it. To me, I like it in the flavor profile that it is. It's a sweeter tequila. To me, it fits in that dessert tequila category. And when it comes to the sweeter tequilas, I think it's one of the better sweeter tequilas. It's on the sweeter side. It's not as sweet as Aditivo, but it's not as peppery as like a Dos Artes or a Amargura, well, Dolce Amargura. But I like it. I mean, you know, a lot of people like it. I like it. B loves Aditivo. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, and then and like Pi said, the bottles are pretty dope. Like the bottles that Mandela puts their tequila in, they're fucking dope as hell. So
Yeah, I found the bottles I want for the Samel when I start legally making that.
yeah,
Hey,
you
listen,
gonna be
man. I
crazy.
don't know nobody's name, but dude, what you were saying earlier about that hibiscus or that tea, I need to try that. I need to try that. That's something different, something that ain't out here right now, man. And what I liked about that, only 2% of the breweries out here in the world are African American or minority owned. So if
Yeah,
you ever make that beer and you get the chance to sell it or can get it to me, just let me know, dude. Like I'm here to support.
Okay.
That sounded outstanding, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, if you've never Wendell, I'll let you talk because I gotta go get a bottle because of
All
what
right.
Pi mentioned. So I'll let you talk about what you do.
Yeah, so I guess some say I'm a mad scientist. So I mean I've been trying different combinations. I'm more into the bracket side, but I do make my versions of beer. I usually brew 20% and up. So most of my brews that I make are 20% and up.
Talking about the ABV?
Yeah, that's my stuff. Like this right here, my lumberjack right here. This is sitting at 21.
Okay.
I got a bracket version of it sitting at 22 and a half. This is my barley wine bracket right here. dual enforcers. So this one is sitting at 21.
So let me ask this question. So do they taste like they're 21, or they taste slightly below it?
It depends. Some I'll say taste below it. They go down easy. All my stuff is non-carbonated. I mean, Kenny had tried it. I made one at 25%. That was my double barrel age. I mean, I have one at 28. I mean, I have some of my braggot. It's a limited edition braggot that's sitting at 32. So I got to get the stuff, and then I'm dabbling into other things. I got a 47.5% limoncello that I make every so often.
Yeah, the reason why I asked is because I'm getting into brewing too. I just did a collab with a brewery and brewed my recipe last year, and so we're trying to brew it again on a 7.5 barrel system, and we want to try to dial it down to 3 different types of beer. We want to have a base, then we want to have a beer that tastes like a German chocolate cake, which includes coconut, vanilla, and pecans, and then we want to have another variant of that beer. So the reason why I asked is because I'm asking the brewer to double boil it. And he was like, well, we're in North Carolina. We can only get the ABV up so high. It's already 11% now. And he was like, in North Carolina, we can't get it over 15. So he was like, I really don't want to double boil it because we couldn't sell it. And then we have to lie about the ABV. So I kind of understand where you're coming from that perspective. But I was out there in Wisconsin, man, and I had a beer that was 27%. That's the highest one I've ever had. And that beer tasted exactly like fucking liquor. I was like, that's not beer, that's liquor. Like,
mine don't taste like that. I mean, I have some of that in my house too. I bought something at 75% and 67.5. That tastes like high test. High test liquor. You know, my stuff mine just tastes like what it is, but stepped up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So right now, what's your favorite type of beer to brew?
Mine. I don't really do a style, you know. It may be a rip on the style, but it's my style, you know. So it's not gonna be exactly the same. But I would say if you want to say style, I would say a braggot.
Okay.
That'll probably be the easiest thing. But you know, I can't really collab like most people do at this stage of the game, or you know, I keep a lot of stuff close to the vest. It's just I spent time figuring stuff out, and I'm not just going to give it away.
Right,
you know?
And you don't have to do a collab, man. You can do what do they call it, man? It's not a collab, but but you got to buy out the space. It's contract brewing.
Nope, can't do that either. I mean, only thing I can probably do is alternating proprietorship if I can find a place to do it. I'm not giving up nothing because even you can say a lot of companies can't brew big beer. There's a few out there that can, but it's not that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
and the way I do it is I go against the whole grain of brewing. I don't do what everybody else does. I'm just gonna say it. You know, and then I've been basically propagating my yeast since I started. So it's tailored to what I do. I ain't giving that up either.
Hey, listen, brother, I'm here with you. You should.
When I was at Brown a whole lot of breweries came up to my table trying to get my sauce.
Yeah, so like the reason why I said contract brewing is because the brewery that I deal with a lot, that's right 5 minutes up the street from my house, they do contract brewing. They don't give up none of their recipes. They go to that facility, they brew with their stuff, and they take their stuff back with them. Like it's no you giving my recipe or nothing. I pay you for that space for that time, and we brew that beer, and that beer comes back to me.
Yeah, so they may be doing it closer to that because I know a couple guys now, they're doing alternative proprietorship. So they basically own the rights to all their stuff. All they're doing is buying space to use their equipment, basically.
And listen here, brother, I'm with you. Don't give up none of your stuff. None of it. Don't tell nobody else your stuff. Like, listen, man, my recipe that I came up with, I put it out there, and next thing I know, another brewer had it. And it was my recipe. I came up with it, and another brewer ended up with it. So I'm just like, what the hell going on? But I come to find out that like there's no loyalty in this game. So if you give up a recipe, that recipe, one thing can be tweaked and it's a total different recipe on it. So I'm with you on that. Don't give up anything. Don't tell nobody nothing that you're doing, whatever else. I just want to try it. That's all. I don't care what you're doing with it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your
Right.
stuff together. I pray to God one day you have your own brewery open and you can do your own thing. Don't give nobody your crap. I'm 100% with you on that. And if you need
So,
support,
it's
I'm here
kind of
for
tough
you.
working with people because you want to do that. So, like general stuff I could talk about, and principles, even tricks to even help the yeast that you're using to perform better. I could do stuff like that, but my actual stuff that I do, that's not fair to me if you think I'm just going to give that up.
So you said did you say you came up with you got your own yeast that you're doing or
So
using
basically,
or
yeast that I use, I have a combination of them. I have them separate and I have some blends. And basically, I've been using it for the 3 years that I've been brewing.
okay,
And
got you. Okay.
I just propagate newer ones, at certain points to keep it as fresh as I can. And they're used to the harsh environment that I give them. So, I could brew, a lot of my brews are brewed straight up. You do it and then ferment it. And no tricks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't try step feeding and all that. Sometimes that may be a little easier, but at the end of the day, it's just to figure out the right amount. So I'm kind of interested myself because I can see the change from when I went from smaller batches to 20, 30 gallons at a time. I can see the difference. So
Right.
that's what I'm kind of wondering what it's going to be like when I go on a full system of like 7 barrels. What is that going to be like with the osmotic pressure on the yeast still trying to do that type of gravity? Like, how much yeast am I going to have to use?
You just got to make sure your numbers are what they supposed to be, man. I've been asked and approached by a couple of different people. Do I want to make brewing or something around that lines my career? And I just keep telling them like I really can't because I can't leave my day-to-day job because of how much money I make. Like I heard my man talking
Yeah,
earlier
I'm in the
about
same
corporate
boat.
America. Yeah,
I'm in the
like I heard
same
my
boat.
man
So I
talking
agree
about
with
corporate
you.
America, man. I don't like corporate America, not at all. But that shit pays the bills, and the amount of money I
Right.
make in corporate America, I can't make in craft beer. How much I love it, I just can't make that much money in it.
I would say this.
You can, but it's going to take work to
Exactly.
get there, right? And you got to build
Exactly.
that baby. So I already got ideas on how I'm going to do it. I got several ideas. I still got to run about a lawyer. So I'm trying to work out ways that I can still keep my job till the baby gets big enough that I can go, you
Yeah,
know.
my
Right.
man said it. My man said it earlier. I got the funds. I just need to make sure I can. If you need help, just let me know. In other
Right.
words, just make sure that we can get it off the ground, man. I really hate the fact that only 2% of the breweries across the United States are minority owned and black owned. I hate that.
So
But it's gonna
Blackbeard,
change. It's definitely gonna change.
exactly. Blackbeard,
Yeah.
DM me. Um, I'll give you more details on people that I work with that are looking to invest, especially in black-owned businesses. Um, I'll tell you that side of things because this is the first day I'm talking about it publicly on a live on that side of TLA. Like Brick has already known about it. He's talked about it with a couple people. When Sizzle comes on here, we're gonna, when he makes it, if he does make it tonight, he did tell me, there's a something important that came up. So so he may not make it tonight, but you know I have a project going that if you want to be an investor, no matter if you're looking at, $500 or, in some cases, $200,000, you know, as I tell people that are wanting to invest in businesses, you not giving me a fucking penny. I'm not touching any of your money. I'm not, I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. I'm not going to tell you how to invest in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the opportunities that I have that have either been brought to me as an investor or that a business has come to me and said, hey, I'm looking for this, da da da. I'm going to give you the business strategy that they have, my analysis of it, and leave it there. I say, if you want to go forward with this is the owner's name, their number. You guys, you take it to your people, you take it to your lawyer, your advisors, You do your own research. I'm going to tell you my general thoughts. I'm going to tell you my position with the company and what I'm doing with the company. Give you all the information that you need to make a decision, but I'm not going to sway that decision. I'm not going to touch any fucking penny of what you do. I'm not saying, hey, we're going to pull this. No, bruh.
Yeah.
Keep your money where you keep your money. Don't send me a penny. What you work out, your final investment, I don't need to know. Don't tell me about it. How often you talk to the owner, what y'all talking about. Don't tell me about it. I don't
That,
want
that
any legal liability on that end.
that's the issue with us, man. And I don't want to get too deep into that, but I feel like that's been ingrained in us for so long, so many years, that we fight against each other instead of fighting for each other.
Right.
And I've told so many people that over the years, it's just like you can look at any other race and nobody else does that. Everybody else looks after each other, make sure that people are good except for us. We want to
Yep,
sit
they
right
bond
here.
together and get each other out the hole, and
Right,
then
right.
everybody gets something out of it, one at
But
a
but
time.
but us, we're sitting here looking like, nah, I don't want him to be where I'm at. But if you sit around and look at the next person, be like, oh, they're above me, and now you're trying to get where they at, but you don't have that leverage. So the
Right.
only way that I feel like we can do that is to leverage each other and to figure out ways to support each other and do what we're supposed to do, man. Just like I just left for Weathered Souls, came to Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where I'm located at. I just went to Weathered Souls, and it was like 20 people in Weathered Souls. I told the bartender, I said, listen, I want to buy everybody a drink in here. And he was like, well, why you want to do that? I was like, I want to support you guys. It ain't got nothing to do with the people that's sitting in here.
Right.
It has something to do with supporting you guys, right? So that's the only place I
Exactly.
visited tonight. So I just want to be like, I want to support you guys. You're the only black-owned brewery in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I want to make sure that you guys are taken care of. And like they just
Exactly.
didn't understand that. They didn't get it. But like I'm trying my best to get my people to understand that we got to support each other. If we don't, nobody will.
Exactly.
And,
And
and, and
then,
that's our issue right now.
but
Yep.
it's not even only that if we don't, nobody else will. It is that if we don't, someone who sees the opportunity is going to come in with
Right,
deep pockets and
right.
come in and take advantage of what we built.
Let me get my
One of
charger and
us
I'll be
built.
right back to answer that question. Let me get my charger.
Dude, I gotta get my charger too.
I'm plugged in.
Yeah, well, I'm not plugged in, but yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I want to make sure because last time on here, man, at the last minute, my phone started beeping, so I heard I'm plugged it in. Like I'm staying ahead.
Or have
Uh,
your phone. I have my phone. Have my phone never died during the live stream? Not that I know of, at least.
come on, man.
But
I got a 20,000 milliamp battery. I got a big battery, like, a decent size. I got a bigger one upstairs. It looks like a book.
that
That can
attached to
power
the
a lot
phone?
of stuff at one time.
You attach it to the phone?
Yeah, no, I just plug it in.
Oh,
And
so
then
yeah,
it
like
keep
the
my
power
phone
pack.
charged because my phone can charge stuff off too. Then I got one that got 4 hubs that you can charge 4 things at one time. So I
Mhm.
usually take that when I go to festivals and stuff because you can't fly with it. That's how big it is. You ain't allowed to bring it on the plane. That's how big. The one I got right now is big enough that I can take on the plane with no problem. But I got one that's super big.
Mm.
So when I go to a festival, I can run. If I bring my little thing that I can ring up money, it can run that, charge people's phones up, and it'll last pretty much the whole time. So.
Yeah. But like, I also keep some of that private as well because some people may try to steal the idea and then use it
No,
to take
bro.
advantage of people in a con type of way, so to say.
Yeah.
You know. Uh, so that's why. And then I didn't really know exactly how I wanted to build it. Now I know, like, as of a couple months back when I said, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and really do this because I've invested in I've invested in other small businesses, just not liquor businesses. You know, um, but to do my research and to see just how dope it is to be able to do it in this industry. It's like, man, this is, like the other stuff it really is just like, X's and O's. Like, you got to make sure their funding is this way, their margins are this, that their overhead is this, that the accounts are appropriate here. No one's doing this, no one's doing that. No one's, they're doing the business transactions the way they're supposed to do them. You're not living out of your business account. You're not fucking going and charging your business account for every little single thing. You have, when you pay yourself, you have it noted in the business account that you're paying yourself, and you do it on a
basically as a
you don't
sequel.
exactly, and you do it on not only daily basis, but do that shit on a weekly basis. You can vary how much you pay yourself, but do it on a weekly basis, or a bi-weekly basis. But don't pay yourself out every day unless you're paying your employees every single day as well. Like that's how, or like, I helped a cleaning business open up, and it was like, okay, like how to clean. What you need to do is make sure you're timing your cleaning process to get every single minute, pay for every single minute that you're there. Make sure as soon as you put your gloves on, you start that timer. Well, right before you put your gloves on, you start that timer. You have this down on paper to your clients. This is when that timer starts. You have one person, only one person that takes the money, not anyone that's near there. That way you can keep control of theft. You can make sure that the money is going into the right business account. At the end of the day, make deposits every day, or have a set, 2 days a week that you make deposits to the business account. Like, don't be skimming and grabbing cash out of here. Make sure you're keeping all your receipts for your product purchases and everything. That's what that side of the business is. But like on this side of the business, it's like, hey man, like let's get into something creative. Like, what are you doing? Like, what blend are you doing? How are you taking it to the customer? What's the marketing program that you're on? Like, what's the marketing approach that you're taking? Who's your target market? And trying to figure all that out. Like, that's dope as hell. Like, doing that research and all that stuff is dope as hell. But then when you look at the figures, and you're like, you're saying, hey, this Tequila Cabal is amazing, and Jose Cuervo doesn't taste nearly like this. But then you look at the sales, and you see Jose Cuervo has sold 7.9 million units. And the second bestseller is at like 2.3 or something like that units, or like 3.2 units, something like that. You're like, hold on, wait, what? Like, Jose Cuervo does not taste as good as this. Then you realize why it's sold that much, as opposed to it doesn't really come down to taste.
My bad, fellas.
It's all
So I
good.
put it in and
We
died.
all been there.
It's all good.
You did 1 minute and then poof.
Yeah, out the mix.
Yeah. I just went on one of my nerd raids anyway. One of my nerd fucking rants,
You was talking
Yeah,
about tequila, man, and tequila is starting to be my go-to right now. It used to be like Crown. I was a Crown guy. I used to love Crown, but Crown started giving me a headache, hangovers, all that sweet stuff. And then I messed around and got Casamigos, man, and went to Mexico like a month later,
Yeah.
and they had some tequilas in Mexico. I was like, hey, look, we ain't got none of this in the States. It don't even taste like this. Like 1800 and stuff like that. That was our number one stuff I go to. Whatever they had over there was killing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, when we went to all-inclusive resort, the dude was like, we got two different options for you. We got a top chef option and we got a mid chef option. Which one you want? I was like, man, you're joking, right? Like, I want a top chef option. So he was like, all right, so top chef is going to be local owned breweries. I mean, distilleries and their tequilas. So I was like, bet. I never had them before, so let's try them.
Yeah.
Man, it was one that came in a skinny bottle, dude. The neck on the bottle was about that big, and then the bottom of it was huge. And I can't remember the name of it to save my life right now, but that was some of the best tequila I've ever had in my life.
Siete Leguas? Siete Leguas?
I don't want to lie to you. I don't even want to lie to you. But
no,
It sounds like it sounds like they made the bottom like a decanter kind of thing.
Well, I'm trying
that's
to
how it looked.
like, how tall was it?
The bottle probably was maybe a foot tall, maybe a foot. It wasn't all that tall. But
No,
somebody said Don Julio. No, it was not Don Julio.
Come on,
sounds
Pi,
like to
cut
me-
that out.
It sounds
It
like
was
to me
not
it
Don
either-
Julio at all.
No, it sounds like to me if Siete Leguas was it a darker liquor?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like to me if Siete Leguas extra añejo because it comes like it has like. So have you ever seen Old Forester birthday bourbon?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So it comes in a very similar bottle
Okay.
as that. Is that
Similar
the
to
bottle
it,
that was?
correct.
Was that the bottle?
It was similar to it. It was similar to it. Yeah.
So that sounded like Siete Leguas extra añejo.
It was definitely Añejo, but I was like, when I told the dude, I got the same bartender, man. I don't know how I did that every day. I got the same bartender. He was right outside my room, and we had a swim up casita. And I just went to him. He's like, "Hey, friend, I already know what you want," and he just gave it to him. And I would just tip the shit out of the guy because everything was already paid for. And the dude was like, at the end of the day, he was like, "Man, y'all been here 5 days. Y'all probably went through like 10 bottles." I was like, "Hey, listen, hey, it is what it is." And I told you, I said, "So can I take some of it back?" And he was like, "We can't give you a bottle. You might can go to the distillery and buy it." We was like, "Where is that?" And we was like right outside of Cancun. And he was like, "Yeah, you got to travel a couple hours to get it." I was like, "Nah, we're not about to do that either."
Yeah.
Miss your flight, you could be down there in Mexico for a little minute.
Right.
I don't play around in Mexico, man.
Right. If it sounds like the one that I'm thinking about, they just now started really getting that bottle here in America. At least here in Chicago, I know it's $300. If it's the bottle that I'm thinking about, it's $300 for that bottle.
Hey, Pop, I've tried every type of Don Julio, and no, it's no.
I was just talking to one of the Benny's managers about that bottle as well. Like it's overpriced, man. It's like $400 for like.
And what I try to get my people to see, man, if we travel internationally, you will see some stuff that you will never see here. Like the type of liquor that we're talking about right now is just different over there.
Yeah. So
what was the name of the tequila you was talking about?
He was talking about Tequila Cabal.
No. I'm talking. You said you think you may have known the bottle that.
Yeah, Siete Leguas.
How you spell that?
It's SIETE, and then Leguas. Shit, I don't know how to fucking. I'm halfway fucking high, man. So
my man said this ain't no spelling bee. He don't know how to spell that.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta do that early. You don't do that early. That just goes on.
7, man. 7
Huh?
legs. 7 legs, man.
Gotcha. Hold on, wait. This one?
Yo, that's the bottle right there. That's it.
Yeah. See, I know my fucking tequila. I know
That's
my
it.
tequila. Siete
That's the bottle
Leguas,
right there.
Extra añejo. See?
And that's why I shook my head earlier, because as soon as he described the bottle, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's that. I think it's that." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." I was like, This dude is so fired that like all you did was, "Oh, he got a little fat bottle with a little, this," and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's what it is."
Yeah.
That was the reason why I asked for the spelling bee, because I already knew that was it.
Because if you would have told me that it was taller, then I was actually just gonna go underneath my shelf and be like, "Is it this bottle right here?"
Wait. What you got there, my friend?
Look at that.
You've never seen my bar, have you?
I haven't, but I'm gonna tell you right now. I seen that E.H. Taylor behind your neck back there.
Oh, that's
So
That's nothing.
It might be nothing to you, but to me, hey, we talking about E.H. Taylor here.
I mean, I do have this in my bar.
Hey, listen, we don't want to get up. We don't want to talk about it. You can put that up. We don't want to talk about it. That's Pappy, man. I've had so much bourbon and stuff that tastes better than Pappy, but not for that price.
Have you had the rye though? Now I understand.
I haven't had the rye, but I'm not a rye fan either.
I'm a rye guy.
Okay.
I
I've
almost
had
pulled out a
a
rye pilsner for
lot
y'all
of
boys.
bourbon. Was that?
I said I almost pulled out a rye pilsner for y'all boys, but
Oh, you got to pull out a rye. Come on, man.
it's a whole crowler, so I don't know if I'm ready for that just yet.
I understand that. But no, I'm a rye guy. A lot of the whiskeys that I have in my bar are rye. And this is probably the top 3 ryes I've ever had in my life. And that rye only comes out 2 to 3 times a year. So for the scarcity of it, that is probably the best rye that I've had in my life.
I have to try it out. What's the name of it? I write it down.
It's
If I run across it, I'll try it.
It's Pappy Van Winkle.
Pappy Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye.
Oh,
You can't go buy this.
It's the Family Reserve, and yeah, man. Hey, listen, I don't know what you got, what kind of connections you got. You know how hard it is to get the regular fucking Family Reserve?
I got connections, man.
I tell you what, this is what I'll tell you. You get an extra bottle and you let me know, and we'll figure out how to fix it.
I can't
We'll
get
figure
an
out how
extra
to get it.
You gotta, you gotta come to the
Get
city.
an extra bottle. I can't.
I'm about to come to Chicago then.
An extra bottle of that on the secondary market, I think it's like 2 racks. Like 2,500, 2,200, 2,500.
That's why I don't see. That's why I'm there with Pappy right there.
See, but I bought that at retail.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if I can get it at retail, that's cool. But I'm not buying Pappy on the secondary.
I don't think I have a chance to get that at retail. This at retail is $165. That's what I paid for this at retail.
And that's cool. I'll pay that.
Yeah. If I kept this sealed and I said, you know what, I just want to sell it and make the profit, I would have probably made $2,300 on there.
How is it aged or no? Is it 13-year, 23?
I think it is. It's 13-year Kentucky straight rye whiskey. So 13-year, and it's not even bottled to bond. It's 95.6.
Can I switch this around? Can I switch my camera? Hold on, here you go. Yeah. Look at this bullshit. Who doing that? Who doing that?
There are so many people that actually buy that, though. There are so many people in this world that actually buy that.
Well, listen,
that's
look
why
at here.
They're at that price. Yes.
But look at here. I don't care how good it tastes. I never pay that amount. I would never pay that amount of money.
I won't either because I bought it at $165.
Oh, you showing off now?
There's people. I'm telling you, there's people that have had millions that live in a state like North Carolina that will never get it there ever. Like they could spend $1 million and they will never get it. They say, oh, I can just pay $2,500 for this, and just to have it as a showpiece on their bar. $2,500 to someone that
my thing about it, if I pay $2,500 for it, you stepped in my house, you better not even look at that bottle.
Hey.
Like that, like I'm being honest. Like if you step in my house and I paid $2,500 for that bottle, it wouldn't even be out for you to see it. Like I'm just being honest about it. So like I got a buddy that's like up there in Kentucky and stuff like that.
I got the Brick Brews, man.
Oh, yeah. Brick process that like that? I ain't never seen Brick do that.
It was a sip.
What you saying about that?
What he sent me, my little taster.
The Master Nobel.
Yeah.
Should I just put it away? That's the Master Nobel TLA pick.
Now,
what were you saying about your homies in Kentucky, bro?
Now, I was just saying my homies in Kentucky so they can get all that crap, man. But he was like, I can only get one. And the guy that I deal with up there, he was like, I'm going to be honest with you. He was like, Bobby, if I get it, you won't get it. Like he's just being straight up with me. He's like, if I get that something like that, you would never get it because I'll have it.
Yeah.
But he was like, stuff like that comes up to them, and like, because he buys so much bourbon and stuff like that, he's like, he might be one of the first people in line, but if he get it, it's his.
Yeah.
And he not selling it.
Because that's the holy grail of your bourbon buying. That's the holy grail. It's like that's your thank you gift from the owner of the liquor store or the manager. It's like, oh, you spent $6,000, $7,000 here. Oh,
Right.
thank you.
Right.
Here's because those are the guys that are keeping that liquor store really afloat. Because,
So let me ask you a question. So we're talking about bourbon and stuff. Have you had Broughton Brothers yet?
no, I drink a lot more tequila than I drink bourbon.
Okay. The reason why I asked you is because they're the only black-owned distillery in Kentucky, and they came out with it.
Oh,
But
the Brown
their shit
Brothers?
is so hard to get. The Broughton Brothers, yeah.
Need to talk to him, man. Hey, let's get this
Because I'm trying to go out there probably next month.
Okay.
Someone to
In fact, I'm
Kentucky.
trying to go out there and meet Sizzle out there.
If you get a bottle, man, I'll send you money for a bottle.
Yeah, because from what I've heard from other people, that the fucking bourbon is good, and the story behind them opening up is even better, bro. Like they sent them through so many hoops and loops.
The three brothers, right?
Yeah. So they was like when they first started trying to apply for their liquor license and stuff in Kentucky, like they sent them through so many hoops that other people didn't have to go through. Like they'll tell you the story, but like it was just so much shit they had to go through. But now it's worth it for them because they're the only black-owned distillery in Kentucky. And I don't know how much y'all know about Kentucky, but that means a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Like that means a lot.
So
I plan a trip to meet him because I got to pick up a barrel from him. And then we was going to meet there. That way I can meet with them because I know they've been getting it elsewhere and doing their spin to it, but their own bottles be coming out, probably in a year or two.
Yeah, because
Under
usually
their
what they
own
do
group.
is they get like MGP, they get like MGP sauce or like another one of the distilleries like MGP. Like that's what most regular brands do is they get like MGP sauce or it's one or two other big distilleries that just sell their tequila or sell their bourbon and whiskey. And then they put their own sauce to it. Like Uncle Nearest just
I'm literally
Under their
looking.
own sauce.
yeah.
Because that's what
Uncle
I'm picking
Nearest
up.
just got
I'm
to
picking
their
up
own
a
sauce.
Uncle Nearest barrel.
Bro, so
You're picking up Uncle Nearest barrel?
Yeah.
I just
52
had a
barrel.
I just had a conversation about that today.
What's
We're
that
talking
looking
about
for?
Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniels. Yeah, have y'all read the history behind all that crap, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff that makes me mad, right? So that's what makes me mad. But we ain't gonna get into all that.
Yeah.
I tried Uncle Nearest and it's great. So I mean, it is what it is at this point.
I look at it, to me, hey, let's talk about it, I think
It's TLA Thursdays. Let's talk about it.
let's talk about it.
I mean, well, we can bring it up, man. Like the thing about me, and it goes back to how this country was built on, right? So like I tell everybody all the time, like we can talk about Jews, we can talk about whoever you want to talk about, but let's talk about African Americans and Indians who probably lost the most in this country as this country was being built, right? So it was built off the backs of slaves and off of the willingness of Indians to give what they gave to white people, right? Just call it what it is.
I mean, my thing, when we throw in the Indians there too, sidebar, and this is for my family, because my family was directly affected by
I'd say
what you're
natives.
talking about.
Mine too.
Natives.
Yeah, the natives. So to me, so my grandmother was half Bigfoot and half mock Indian. So
Cherokee over here. My grandmother was half Cherokee.
yeah, so
Yeah, I got Cherokee and Blackfeet in mine.
Yeah.
right. So when you look at but my grandmother, she was from the tribes that were the dark Indians, and if you look at history, a lot of the dark Indian, like a lot of the dark Indian tribes, meaning like, you know, the blacker, like shade like this, you know what I mean? They were either white completely out because they didn't meet the brown bag test, or they went and registered as an African American in there as well. And that's a part of the history that we don't, like, everyone tends to leave out throughout all of that, as well as if you were a darker complexion Native American back then, you got either you got completely wiped out, or you had to identify as black as opposed to who you really are.
So like I hang with a lot of white people, man, and I'm gonna put this out there because I need to make sure I voice this every time before I speak on stuff like this. I'm pro-black all day long, but I'm not anti-white, and I
Right,
need
right.
people to understand that. I'm not against white people, but I'm pro-black all day
Yeah.
long.
And
So just like
and no, I'll say this for anyone that watches this on my channel, they know that I'm not going to bring on someone that's either militant this way or militant that way. You know what I mean? And that this is a educational conversation. If
right,
anyone has ever heard me on here, I have two set of parents. I have two parents that are white, and you know they're just as much. Well, I shouldn't say just as much, but they're damn near as much as, you know, as great parents to me as my real mother. You know,
right.
so they know we talk about it openly, and I'm not gonna bring to me an asshole and his asshole, and I'm not gonna bring any assholes on this show.
Right. And if you look at my great grandfather, man, I just found the picture of my great grandfather maybe 2 years ago. Picture me being white. That's how my great grandfather looked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude looked exactly like me, but he was white. So that, to me, that was fucking amazing. But my whole point about this is, man, that I just think people need to educate themselves and not worry about what a school educates you on. Because when I started, I went to HBCU. So going to a HBCU showed me so much that I wasn't taught by going to a PWI. And that kind of bothered me, man. Like everything that I was raised on was incorrect or wasn't taught correctly. And that's what bothers me, man. Like I was always taught that Christopher Columbus was the one who came to America, who found America, who blah 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 ABCD. Man, listen,
Right.
I'm a firm believer. If you were my Facebook friend, every year you'll see it. The only Christopher I acknowledge is Wallace. Right? I put that every year, bro. Every
Biggie.
year. Because like, all right, let me back a little bit. I don't know if you guys ever watched this, but if you haven't, I challenge you to go watch it. It's a 4-part series called Four Colors. There's a documentary called Four Colors.
Yeah.
Four Colors goes back and digs into the African American culture of America and before America, right? So we talk about Mormons all the time. A lot of people think Mormons was white. The first Mormons wasn't white, they was black, right? And it also talks about like the first people who ever was founded in the United States of America, right? So you have your Indians first and foremost. They was here before anybody else was. But then there was actually African artifacts that was found before Christopher Columbus even got here, right? So that means somebody from Africa was selling over here, but nobody ever got acknowledgement of that. And that's what bothers me, man. And I tell the people all the time, I'm from North Carolina, so like the massacre of Wilmington, I tell people all the time, look that up on Google if you never heard about it. Like I tell people all the time, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, look that up. Like you need to understand what happened.
Yeah.
Like when we have something going good from ourselves, it's always been torn down. And
Lake,
to me,
Lake
that bothers me.
Lanier,
Yeah, it's
Central
happened in
Park.
multiple places. Yeah.
Right. Right. I look
So I
at it.
mean,
So I'll
I
say
say that, I
this.
say all that to say this, man. Like a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, even when it can get back down to beer and to bourbon if we wanted to. Like a lot of this stuff was built on the backs of slaves and backs of Indians, and a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that, but that's the truth,
Right.
and
It
it needs to
is.
be put out there.
It's 100% the truth. And I'll say this. We have to look. I'll put it to the Deion Sanders situation right now with the HBCUs. When it comes to, you know, Black Wall Street, you know, that's one thing, you know. But we have to look at the other way that we tear ourselves down as well. And we have to look at it from the perspective of you have some people that just don't want to do their part. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
have, like, when you look at, let's look at the Deion Sanders situation, right? That man isn't leaving because he got a better offer from Colorado. That man is leaving because there's going to be trouble to come to that university because someone did not want to do their part and they got greedy. They got greedy. And it affected the football program. It affected his safety at the university. It affected his family safety at the university. And it affected him legally as well.
He
So
said it, man. The dude said it in a press conference. They had just won a game, and at a press
yeah,
conference, he had just got robbed. At the press conference, he just got robbed. So, and I hope a lot of people hear this, and I hope a lot of people see this. I come from HBCU, right? What Deion Sanders did for HBCUs, he showed you the blueprint, and he showed you how to get that money. He showed you what you needed to do in order to get it. So it's up to every HBCU to take that and to make something of it. Deion, what he's doing now is twofold for me. One, he's doing it for him and his family, right?
yeah,
By him being in a Power 10 school, that's helping him and his kids to make generational wealth. I
but it also
100%
helps us
agree with
too.
it.
Yeah,
But so that's the second part. The second part, what people don't understand is that you have a man like Deion Sanders now at a Power 10 school. He's going to take those kids who may not have been looked at by PWIs, and he's going to bring them on, and he's going to lift them up, and he's going to show. Colorado is a white school. Let's make that clear.
yeah,
But I guarantee you, in 2 years, that football team is going to be more than 50% black. He brought
oh yeah.
half of the people from Jackson State over to Jackson State. Did y'all see that press conference he had? His son, he was like, "This is so and so, and this is your quarterback." he told them that day one, "This is so and so, and this is your quarterback."
See, and this
Bro,
is what I
like,
love. Yeah, this is what I love about Deion is that he's unapologetically him, and this is what
100%.
this is also what I love about Deion is that all of us former athletes. I'm a former athlete, you know, my whole life, you know, is that a lot of us have had coaches like him, like meaning like you like they're setting expectation. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna be that. They're gonna let you know when you fuck up. They're not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it, pat you on the back, saying, "Oh, blah blah blah." They're gonna let you know when you fuck up, and then they're gonna pat you on the back after that and tell you, "I love you." They're gonna be tough on you. They're gonna hold you to an extremely high expectation, and a lot of people in the world don't understand us as athletes, as former athletes and as athletes and stuff, because they don't understand that that's normal coaching. And
right.
people like that have gotten us to the the pie. People don't understand that coaching like that pushes that player to a whole nother level to make them succeed at a higher level. Kobe was that type of guy. LeBron, that type of guy. Like Steph, that type of guy. MJ, that type of guy.
you.
But I'm being real about it because it's like when you either have that as a teammate or you have that as a coach or you're that person yourself and saying, you know what, man, I'm not about to accept mediocrity. You need to do this.
Right.
You need to do this right. Down to the every single step that you take. Because as a baseball trainer, and I'm training my kids, I can let you sit here and do this bad and still be good at it, right? Or I can drill your ass and make sure that you do this every single step right to where now we don't have to worry about if you take this misstep or we don't have to, or you take this wrong path that you might end up fucking up because you took the wrong path. Now we're making sure that you're not going to fuck up because you took the wrong path and that you fuck up because it's mentally. And then we're going to work on your mental toughness. And that's what Deion Sanders is showing the world, that these are the type of coaches that have made men like myself and other men successful. I mean, let's refer to baseball. Aaron Judge just signed a 9-year, $360 million contract. That dude has been coached like that his whole life. He got lucky enough to have coaches like Dion his whole life, and now that man making $360 million.
Is it falling hurt?
You know what I mean?
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah.
That's all good.
But I mean, I agree with you 100%, man. I don't know if either one of y'all ever went to a HBCU, man, but for me, a HBCU was my best choice ever. I had the option to go to a bunch of different colleges, man, but I chose St. Augustine's College, and then I went to Winston-Salem State. That was the best choice ever for me because of the way I grew up, right? So I grew up on the wrong path, and I had a lot of shit that was wrong with me. And I don't want to get into all of that, but I had a lot of shit that I was doing that I shouldn't have been doing, man. And the HBCU gave me a bit of self, right? It made me understand who I was and where I came from.
Right.
And for me, that meant so much more to me than any other white school could have ever offered me, man. And it wasn't sports. Like, I could have went to school for sports and stuff like that, but that ain't why I went to school. I ended up joining the military, and I was so proud of this country, man, when I joined the military, dude, in 2002. I was so proud of this country, man. I was like, man, no, ain't nobody coming over here and fuck with us. I'm going to fight for us. We're going to do A, B, C, D. When I started to learn more about how this country was built and how it was built, bro, fuck the military, man. Like, and look, no offense to vets, because I'm a veteran. No offense to people that are currently in the military. But if you look at what this country was built on, man, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Like Muhammad Ali probably said it best. Why would I go overseas and fight for somebody who can't fight for me here? Right? So, like, to me, that makes 100% sense. Like, I'm sitting here fighting for this country, but then I see my people struggling. Y'all won't fight for us.
Mm-hmm. And so even back in the day when they was going through war, like black folks were getting treated better overseas at the places that they're, in the lands that they're fighting against.
Hurt when you do that.
Better than the land they was fighting for.
Right. I mean, to me, we got
V up in the building with a V.
Did you got that thing in your mouth?
To me, I look at it from a historical standpoint, and
so you put it back in.
Like I accept. I look at it
maybe
like
you
this.
give it in for another hour, another 24 hours. That'll go away.
Certain things happen that are just
going to
still happen, and the world is still very young. What up, beer girl? The world is still very young. Us as humans, in the length of history,
no, nobody else drink that.
In the length of history,
but go ahead.
We're still very young as a species. We're still very young as a species. So right now, this certain point in history,
keep it into the heels, baby. That's what they told you. Look at piece of paper. It tells you that.
We are only 400 years removed.
Like, you might feel more comfortable with that in your mouth than without it.
The official date of full-blown slavery. In reality,
this is what you wanted, man. Really I want you to make sure you understand that. You wanted to make sure that you can go through this process.
1960,
so it's going to hurt.
And in some places, not until 1990.
In a couple of years, it'll be worth it. I guarantee you.
So we have to look at it.
Right? You got to look at the long run in it.
From a historical standpoint and see the leaps and bounds that we've taken from that. And it's like, okay, I don't like our past at all.
The reason why I asked you is because
I guess it's the mental approach that I take. I'll put it this way. I don't like our past at all because it's so strong. But we are what we are. You know what I mean? And I'm going to appreciate what we have right now and try to look forward as opposed to looking at the past and be like, damn, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the past is fucked up, but I can only change what I can change right now.
Yep.
But that's what you got to stay.
But the thing is, like, you kind of, and I agree, you know what I'm saying? Do it the past, but you also got to know the past. Because, you got to have some kind of connection to the past in order to go forward.
Right. Because you got to start moving forward. You can't be stuck.
Exactly. You can't be stuck. It matters more what you do tomorrow than what happened yesterday. You know, like,
but it's healing.
I've been through a lot of fucked up shit in my life, and if I was to constantly think about what happened to me growing up and everything, and the shit that I've been like shit fucked up I've been through, I wouldn't be able to move forward as fast as I am right
Don't cry
now.
about it. You're gonna be all right. It's
You
gonna
know
be
what I
all right.
mean?
Let's heal.
Like
That's just what
like
she
if I'm
been through it
thinking
already.
like, man,
She
like
had a week because she was
I'd
hurt
have had this
because of
happen to
her
me. I'd have had
tonsils.
this happen to me. You know what I mean?
You can't
Yeah.
remember
Like
it with the tonsils.
I feel like too many people that suffer from depression and anxiety and all these mental illnesses and everything, they've let past actions dictate their future steps way too much. I feel like learn from the past, but don't walk into the future scared. Like if you walk in there too cautious, like you're not going to be able to succeed and grow as quickly as you can if you say, okay, that should happen. I learned my lesson, but I'm still going to attack each day at my fullest and try to achieve as much as I can.
And man, I got a good friend of mine that I went to college with who's a counselor right now, and he preaches about black males going through counseling and how much it means for us to understand that it's okay to fail, that it's okay not to be on our A game every day. We've been taught. Like I could bring my mom on here right now. My mom would tell you she told her son to never cry in front of a woman.
Right.
Never. Like
Right.
that's for how I was raised. You have to be that strong person for your family when everything is all said and done. Like right now, man, I can tell y'all a true story. My daughter just had to go through a procedure that hurt her, but hurt me more than hurt her. But I couldn't
Yeah.
let her see that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in today's society, that's not the right way. Like I mean, it's okay for us to hurt, to cry,
Exactly.
to let stuff go. And as a black male, we got to understand that, man. It's
Exactly.
okay. Like
Exactly.
I tell my kids all the time, when they prove me wrong about something, I'm sorry. I apologize, right? Daddy was wrong. I need my kids to understand that I ain't perfect.
Exactly.
And I ain't always been perfect and I ain't gonna never be perfect. But
Exactly.
what I am gonna do is always be here for you. That's all I want my kids to ever understand.
Yeah.
Right. So this tough persona that we think we got to carry on as black males, man, that's some bull crap, man. Hey,
Exactly.
listen,
It is.
if one of y'all fellas need to cry, come talk to me. Let me know, man. I ain't gonna judge you based off of that. That's stupid. We
Exactly.
gotta hurt and we gotta go through stuff just like everybody else do, man. Like I lost a daughter 7 years ago.
Mm.
December the 2nd, bro. Like she was only 14 days old. So every time around the beginning of December, I hurt, bro. It
Sorry
bothers
to
me.
hear that, bro. Sorry to
I
hear that.
appreciate it, man. But I need people to understand that like that bothers me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
7 years later, that bothers me. And I ain't even
Oh
get to
yeah,
know her.
100%.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
still
So
your
like
baby. That's still your
we,
baby.
we gotta we gotta be able to be okay with that, man. We gotta be able to be like, all right, look, I'd have been through stuff and it's okay to go through it and I'm hurting. Right? I'm
Yeah.
hurting, right? Like
Exactly.
people black people don't get that, bro. Like we can be vulnerable to the right people, man. And we need to be able to have each other backs when I say that. And I really hate that we don't have the same backing for each other that other races have, man. Like I'm never gonna sit right here and say, hey, Kenny, man, you got more followers than I do. I don't like you, Kenny. You got more followers than me. But so many people do that crap, you know what I'm saying? That is stupid. Like this
Yeah.
is what, my second or third time I've been on here with you, Kenny?
The first time that was my first time, meeting you or whatnot, or having our exchange, and it was
Getting
like,
on, getting on here, talking beer, talking life with other brothers that's like me, that's in the same place with me. That's what I get off on, man. Like
Yeah.
that means so much to me to understand that other brothers are going through the same stuff I'm going through, and they seeing the same stuff I'm getting to, or even if they don't, to sit right here and say, "Oh, that brother's going through something that I might go through one day," and now I can see how I handle that. You get what I
Yep.
mean? But we got so
Exactly.
many people that's afraid to voice that, man. Like I got a partner now that lost his daughter. He don't even want to talk about it. I tell him every year, bro, you gotta let this go, bro. You gotta deal with this. I've lost a daughter. You gotta deal with that, bro. Like you
Yeah.
can't just
Yeah.
let that
It
slide
eats at you. It
up under
eats
the
you too
bridge
much.
and you
It
think it's
eats
over
you up
with.
too
You can't
much.
do that.
It
yeah,
eats you up too much. Like you have to when you lose a kid. So be candid on here. I've lost two babies to
Sorry to
miscarriages.
hear that, bro.
You
Sorry to hear that.
thank you, thank you. One was around 7 months ago, and it was with my wife, and so shit hurts, like you just said, like your baby was 14 days old, so, and it doesn't like if you want to be a real father, and that's what we got to get at here. If you want to be a real father and you love your children, from the time that you know that there is a child in your wife's or your spouse's or whatever bellies, and you want to be a real father, you have that attachment immediately.
Yeah.
Am I right?
So all right. So for me, let me explain to you how it worked for me. Right. I knew my wife had a baby. Right. I was more concerned about my wife. So my wife was going through some things, and she had to go to a doctor's appointment. Around the doctor's appointment, they found out that the baby didn't have enough fluid around her. Right. So they was like, we got to admit you to the hospital. And then my wife, her blood pressure kept spiking. And it was like, if we don't get this baby out of your wife, then you could lose both. So the doctor's like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, listen, get that baby out of my wife because I'm not about to lose her. You get what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
That was
right.
my whole thing about it. Like me not thinking as a man that it's going to hurt you too to lose that kid.
Yeah.
Right. So like when the kid came out, man, they told us straight up, they was like, it's a 50% chance of the baby living. So in my mind as a black male, I kept telling myself, all right, this baby ain't going to make it. Right. It's a 50% chance. So I told myself, as long as I'm not attaching myself to this kid, I'll be all right. That's what I kept telling myself, man.
But it's
So
not true.
That
but,
was it.
but hold on. So the doctor came to us one day. The doctor was like, "Your daughter's doing well. We've never seen somebody do this. Now it's a 70% chance that she's gonna live." Right. So I named the baby after that. I started feeding her. Started changing her. Middle of the night, one night we got a phone call,
Mm.
and my wife is a nurse, so she was like, "Hey, listen, baby, I'm not answering that. You answer it because no doctor's ever gonna call you at 11, 12 o'clock at night with good news ever." So I answered the phone. The doctor said, we need y'all to come in right now. So my wife she's tore all the pieces at this point. She know what's going on. So we get to the office and the doctor tells us, like, your daughter has air bubbles in her blood system. And I was like, I don't know what that means. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. And he was like, Mr. Teasley, the way I can put this is if you had air bubbles in your blood system, I give you a 50% chance of living. Your body's fully developed, and I give you a 50% chance of living. But your daughter, being the age that she is, we give her a 2% chance. So the only way that she can survive is for her to go through surgery. Right? So went through surgery, and they came out, man, probably not 30 minutes later. Said we lost her, we got her back and lost her again, and we couldn't resuscitate her. Bro, I've been trying to tell you right now, for my wife, I tried my best to be as strong as I could, but I broke down. Like
Yeah.
that, to me, that was like, I named that baby, I fed that baby, I've changed that baby, that's my baby. It broke me down. Right. So as a man, as an African American man, that's probably one of the lowest points of my life.
Yeah.
And I had to deal with that. I had to talk to people about it. I had to get people to understand what I went through, man. And it's a lot. And for us as African American men, we're taught so much that we have to be so strong because even that dates back to slavery too, right? So like that's how they broke our families. They took a man away from his family and broke him down, right? That's how slavery worked. But it's okay. And that's what I'm telling you three right now. It's okay for us to be vulnerable. It's okay for us to
Yeah.
cry. It's okay for us not to be strong at times. I mean, that's just what it is. That's
It
life.
is. It
So
is.
if anybody's around here telling you got to be this strong, man, I'm here to tell you you don't. And this is outside of beer, man. That's a true story. That's something I don't tell most people, but that's something that as an African American broke me. As an African
Yeah.
American man, that broke me,
I
and
mean,
I had to build myself back up from that.
and I'll say, and that's what I was saying. You wanted to be a father. You named your baby. You like this is something that African American whatever, you know, if you want to be a father, especially us as black male fathers, like, and you get that attachment to your baby, and I guarantee, like, you had that attachment to your baby, but you had to tell yourself, you're subconsciously, you're telling yourself, I can't get this attached to that
Right.
baby
Because she's not gonna be here.
because
Right.
I know that
She's not gonna make it. Right.
subconsciously you had to make that decision. Well, you consciously and subconsciously you had to make the decision. I'm gonna choose my wife over the baby, and you have other kids as well, right?
Yeah, I got two older kids. Yeah, I got a 17-year-old right now and an 11-year-old.
So that plays into it as well, because you're thinking you don't like you have to subconsciously you're still going through and saying my other kids need their mama. I need my
Right.
wife. You
Right.
know, like
You're right.
it's a different thought process when you have children already than if that's your first baby. You know, or that's your only, you know, that's your first baby. It's a different thought process for you and for your wife. And so at that point, it's like, hey, my babies that are already here need their mother, and I need my wife. You know,
Right.
and then you got that attachment. It's like, man, like that's yeah, man, that's
And when you don't deal with that stuff, man, I'm here to tell you from personal experience, it has downstream effects, right? So me and my wife did not deal with that the way we should have. And downstream effects, man, like one night we sat up in the bed and I just around December the 2nd, that's when my daughter was born. Like around December the 2nd, I just started crying. Right.
yeah,
And I don't do that around my wife, man. But I'm just sitting here thinking about what could have been. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm just telling
yeah,
my wife, like, you know, we never really sat down and talked about this. Like we dealt with the funeral, we had the funeral and everything, but we never sat down as a couple, as husband and wife, and had this conversation. We never did that.
about one of
So
your babies, yeah,
we sat down, bro, and we had a conversation about all we could do was hold each other. That was it. So I mean, I know this is getting off the topic of beer, but like
no, man,
it all digs back
it's
into it,
TLA
man, because
live,
we
man.
can't.
We talk about everything, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
What
we
up,
can't
MD?
sit here and act like things don't affect us that affect other people. We
Right,
can't do that. The
right,
persona that African American men are so much stronger than other men, that's bullshit.
it
We
is.
hide our emotions, we hide our feelings, and sooner or later it comes out. Like I tell people all the time, the persona of angry black men is 100% real. That's 100% real, bro. Like we're angry because we hold so much shit in, and then we let it out all at once, and that ain't the right thing to do, right? We need to deal with our situations and deal with our issues then and there, and let it be what it be, right? So like, if I can't deal with it, I gotta go talk to counsel. I gotta go talk to somebody else to get over this. So be it. But I can't sit right here and feel like that I'm too strong that I can't talk to somebody about what I'm going through.
Right. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, man, I wish that people that grew up like I grew up, I wish that I was more vulnerable. I wish that I was softer, um, because some of the nightmares that you end up having
Right.
when you are like forced, like you're fucking beat to not have, you know, um, it's it's crazy, man. And then you see, this is my biggest issue that I had to come to Jesus moment with is when I see when I see the negative effects that I passed on to my baby because of how I grew up and
Right.
because of what
That's
I
the
had to
key,
go
bro.
through. You know, like, you know, I'll tell you guys, like, I grew up getting the shit beat out of me, like the absolute shit beat out of me. I had
Second that.
earrings ripped out of my ears. I had
Heard that.
fucking food
Yeah.
dumped on my head. You know, like I got an ass whooping, like a serious beating every single night from my stepfather, and it was just because I would just sniffle the wrong way and he beat the shit out of me. You know, Like I got seriously fucking beat. And
And
then
subconsciously, man, he's getting that from how he was raised.
right, so I got that, and then I had a father that went from being a police officer to being a crackhead, and at the age of 8 or 9 years old, I went up, like I saw my dad. He was sitting on the side of the road by this laundromat that was prominent in our hometown. And I went up to say hey and hug him. I'm so excited to see my dad at this point. He was a cop, but yet this man, like a year later, is right here. You know,
Right.
I'm so excited to see him. I ain't talked to him in 2, 3 years. He don't even recognize me. He don't even recognize his own son. And he asked me for money. And then he keep walking off because I said, I don't have any money, Daddy. He didn't even act like I even called him Daddy. He didn't even act like he knew his son. Nothing. I'm like,
Right.
all right, man. You know, I couldn't cry because it was just a heart, like a heart,
So so to
like,
piggyback on that, man, another thing that's wrong with our race, in my opinion, is that we have a lot of absent-minded men in our relationship, right? So, like, for example, my dad, right? And subconsciously, man, I had to actually talk to a therapist to figure this out, bro. Like, all shit aside, that subconsciously I'm my dad and don't even know it. You get what I'm saying? So my
right,
dad wasn't in my life the way that I felt like he should be. So me and my brother, I think he's actually watching now. So me and my brother got the same mom and dad. And it was one time my dad came pick my brother up and took my brother fishing. Then picked me up. You get what I'm saying? And so like deep down inside, that broke me. So I went back into my room. I got dressed, you know what I'm saying? Brushed my teeth, took a bath, everything. Like, yeah, we're about to go with my pops and whatever. But they was gone already. You get what I'm saying? But I tell
right,
people to this day, I got two girls, man. I got a 17-year-old and 11-year-old. And they're my life. That's who I live for. That's why I do everything that I do for today because of them two. And I tell people all the time, that man showed me so much shit, how to be a father, that I can never take that away from him. Like, regardless of, he's dead now, but regardless if he know it or not, that man showed me and taught me so much shit. He taught me what not to do for my kids, bro. And that alone is worth more than anything he could have ever taught me and did for me. You showed me what to never do for my kids, and that's why I'm the father I am today, because of my dad. Right? So my two girls right now, and Steve Harvey said this, and this is just a joke, so don't nobody take this serious. I kill all y'all for my kids. You get what I'm saying? I kill all
hey,
y'all for my kids. And
ain't
that's
no
how I
joke.
feel.
Ain't no joke to that, man. Ain't
Yeah,
no joke to that for me, cause
and
I'm
that's
the
how I
same
feel
way.
about it, man. Like I've told my oldest daughter who's 17, and y'all know when they get around the age they start feeling themselves and shit, thinking they on their own. I just told my daughter, I said, you would never understand the love that I have for you because I love you more than I love myself. And I told her, I said, at no point in your life should you ever love your father more than you love yourself. And I legit told her that because it's the truth, man. Like, she's not my kid. I'm not her kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I brought her into this world. I love her more than my life itself.
Right,
And that's what I try to tell my 17-year-old. So I only want the best of you, and everything that I tell you is to put seeds in you to hopefully help you one day to grow. But man, sometimes she tests me. she
right,
and she tests the hell out of me. But I say all that to say this, man. Like, my dad showed me something that I think is invaluable. Even though he wasn't a real father, he showed me what to never do for my kids. And like, I don't care
facts,
where my kids
facts.
are. I don't care what my kids are going through. My daughter can kill somebody today. I'm taking that rap for her. As long as she come tell daddy what she done did, I'm taking that rap for you because I live my life. And my responsibility as a father to make sure that you can live yours.
Yep,
Right? I feel for any parent who's ever lost a kid before they lost themselves, because that's a feeling that nobody can ever understand and it can't be explained.
it can't, it can't. Like,
So I mean,
and Wendell, I don't know if you have any children, Wendell. Kenny, I think you don't have any, right?
Nope.
Wendell, you have any kids?
I found out I got one I don't know yet.
oh God. That's and see, that's the
You
thing,
say
man.
you
Like
found out you have
look,
one?
that's even
Huh?
worse.
You say you found out you just found out you have one?
You had to
Yep,
do
like
your
I
thing
done all I
together.
could. Done all I could. Your turn. And they older, so that's even worse.
Right. It is, and that ain't for you to blame. That's the parent to blame. They knew they had the kid. They should have let you know.
Right.
So, hey, listen, man. I feel your pain, bro. I was 21 years old when I met my older sister. 20
Yeah.
and listen, I have two sisters with the same damn name, and they're a year apart. Not even a year apart. Less than a year apart. Two sisters, same name.
His
They
name
let you
is
know what kind
Ty.
of dude my daddy was.
Yeah. But that sounds like my daddy. That sounds like my brother's daddy. My brother didn't meet his daddy until his grandfather's funeral. And my brother was like 25, 26.
Mm.
And his daddy didn't even say anything to him. But his sisters said something to him, and now his sisters are a part of his life, and knows his sons, and like his sons know them, but like his brother doesn't know him, and his dad passed away, I think, and didn't even put my brother in the will, like put no, not in the will, but didn't even put him in the obituary or something of that nature. And it's like, my brother still hurts to this day for that. You know,
Yeah.
he still
So
hurts to this day.
when my pops died, man, they introduced us to a girl that we all knew that could have been my sister. But
Hey,
after he
Melissa.
died, she wanted to be on the obituary. We was like, nah, that ain't about to happen. Like we don't know for 100% sure. My dad never disclaimed her, but he never claimed her either. And like to
Yeah.
this day, I don't necessarily know if that girl's my sister or not. And that's
I'll
just
be honest. Yeah. No, I'm saying if me as a father, I done did some wild shit in my old days. In my young days, I
y'all.
done did some wild shit. You know. So if I was to find as a father right now that I had a baby out there that I didn't know about, like with the father that I want to be and that I am to my son, I'm be like, well, shit, send me my fucking baby right now. Like I need to, like, or
Right.
where's my baby? I'm going to see my baby.
Mm.
Right.
Like,
Dude, I just got custody of my oldest daughter 2 years ago,
mm,
17. But do you know how much that meant to me? Like I get these last 3-4 years of you being a kid before you become an adult. Like that shit to me, like you can see the smile on my face, bro. Like I'm ecstatic about it. You
right.
get what I'm saying?
Well,
Like I
Zach,
got opportunities because I've positioned myself to be in a good position to raise my kids. Right? Like I tell
right.
everybody all the time, I'm fortunate to be in the position I'm in now because if you looked at me when I was a kid, I should have been locked up in jail somewhere. The stuff that I did when I was younger. But now, like, I had a conversation with my daughter not so long ago, less than a year ago, about guys. And I had to flat out tell her, look, your daddy
Am
ain't the
I
guy that
freezing
you
right
thought.
now? Hold on.
Nah,
Sorry.
Kenny is, though. Kenny is, but I don't see you
See, but
freezing.
everyone else to me is freezing. So that's why I asked if I'm freezing.
I'm
Nah,
still
you're
good.
not you're
Yeah.
not freezing. I don't see myself freezing, but I see Kenny and the other dude freezing.
Okay. All right. No, sorry. I didn't mean
Good
to
on my
No, no,
end.
interrupt.
no,
Or
no, you're good, man. So that's one of the hardest things I had to tell my kids is just like, daddy ain't the guy that you think he is, right? So I've been wrong, and I've been a sorry dude before in the past. Like I am who I am, and I'm unapologetic for that. But I'm here as your dad to let you know that this is what most guys are gonna try to do. I got girls. You get what I'm saying? I got girls, so I know what these dudes are gonna be trying to do with my kids, and I'm just trying to get them to understand and see. Hey, Shadow, come here. Come here. Hey, go to your cage. Come here. I'll be back, guys. Hold on. Hey.
all right.
Mm.
Yeah, I got one upstairs, one dog upstairs, and one down there with me. A big-headed boy down here laying on his bed.
Am I back? Am I still breathing? What we doing over
Yep.
here?
Yeah, moving slow
Yeah, you're
So
motion.
back a little bit.
to me, everyone has the circle of death. To me, uh,
Oh yeah, on my screen nobody has it. Old boy hasn't moved in like the last 2 minutes though. My
Who,
guy,
Pat woke up?
with the red hat on, he ain't moved in the last 2 minutes for
Are
me.
you? Are you, Brick? Oh, hold on,
You
wait,
see
wait,
me
wait.
waving?
Nah, I ain't see you waving either, bro.
so Pi,
You waving?
Pi, Pi, you're the ultimate vote here. send us what you're seeing.
I'm about to close out though. I'm gonna close out and see if that helps.
Because what I'm saying is because this live, I post the first live, and I like this has been a great conversation. We were supposed to have Sizzle on, but Sizzle had a family emergency, so I completely understand why he's not on here. But I do want to post this because like this is some shit that people need to hear, and that I like that us as black men, us as individuals need to be a part of this conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's a great conversation that we had. So what I was thinking about is closing this out and then starting a new live with everyone coming back.
Cause you look clear, I look clear. Kenny's frozen,
Dang.
and my
Wow.
man, he's been going like in and out. Like, yeah, you're moving like slow motion, so I can see you moving, but look like you're like.
Right. And to me, everyone else, all three of y'all are in slow motion. So Beer Girl said everyone but me. TLA and 4B.
I didn't see something.
So to me, so Beer Girl said everyone but me is freezing. So what that tells me is the connection is bad.
So what? I can get it later on, but I don't think we need to bring it in right now.
See, but
Did everybody
now
leave?
you're good. No, Kenny left, and now Wendell has a circle of death, but you're good
Yeah,
now.
same thing for me. You're fine, but old dude got the circle that's going around in a circle, and I can't see him. But now it's
Okay.
just me and you.
So I think they're gonna drop out and then try to come back in because
Yeah,
it was their connections.
but I agree with you, man. Like, my whole thing is to bring more minorities into craft beer, but stuff like this needs to be talked about. Like
Right.
this is a stuff that as African Americans, as minorities, we don't talk about, and it's a conversation that need to be had. And it's okay for people to be vulnerable, man, and that's the issue that we don't understand that. There you go. I can see him moving now.
I mean,
I can see you now, my guy.
It's a very important conversation that we all need to have. And I'm happy to have a platform that we can have this conversation about because,
Right.
To me, this is about life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like this is when we have our beers, when we have our cigars, when we have our tequila, we have our bourbon, as guys, this is what we're talking about in the garage or out back or at the cigar lounges and everything like that. This is what we're talking about as we're drinking our libations and we're smoking our, fucking cigars or bouquets, whatever you want to call it. Like these are the private conversations that we're having with our
Yep.
OGs or with our bros and everything. So to me, it's like to be able to have this conversation on this platform, on my platform here, as opposed to the regular like laughing and bullshitting, which I don't always do. I don't like to always do that.
Yeah.
This is great, and this is something that people need to see in public. Us having this conversation.
Right. I agree with you. Like I said, man, for me, we need to understand that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay for us to cry. It's okay for us to go through things. And that's, to me, that's the number one issue with African American men is that we hold so much stuff in and then it all comes out at once.
Right.
And for me, that's our issue with everything. So like whether it comes out in front of our families, whether it comes out in a conversation with somebody else, or whether it comes out in counseling, wherever it comes out, it doesn't come out in the appropriate way, right? So we need to be speaking about this stuff to each other. Like I got a set of friends that I can call to talk about anything. Like I can legit call them today crying. They're like, bro, what's going on? You need me to come down. They're not even from where I'm from. You get what I'm saying? But
Right.
these cats that I know that are my true friends, because whenever I need them, they'll drop everything and come to me. And it's likewise, same thing for me. Like if they need me, I'm dropping on a drop of a dime and go see what they need to have a conversation with them, to talk to them and let them know that everything is gonna be all right, right? So like I had so many friends like during COVID hit me up, man, saying, hey, listen, dude, like me and my wife working from home now. We ain't never had to do that before. We going through it. Like
Right.
I've never had to deal with this before. Like I'm seeing her 24, 23, how many ever hours a day, and we ain't never had to deal with each other like that. And I flat out
Exactly.
tell them like, look,
It's
you
different.
like your
It's different.
yeah, it's different, right? So and I keep telling people all the time, man, it's okay to miss your spouse. It's
Exactly.
okay. I mean, I try to get my wife to go to other places and do different things with her friends. Like I try to. Like go out and don't call home and don't check on us. If something wrong, I'm gonna let you know. Like
Exactly.
go out,
Exactly.
enjoy yourself, and find out who you are, and have fun with yourself. Maybe you might go out and find out you don't even want to be with me no more, and that's okay. And that's okay as long
Right.
as you found it out. You get what I'm saying? But go out and understand who you are, where you come from, and you need to be able to release everything that you got inside of you without me being around. I tell
Yeah.
my wife all the time. Will Smith said something. I don't necessarily agree with their relationship that they have going on, but Will Smith said something that resonated with me so much, man. I can't be the reason why my wife is happy. I can't. My wife needs to learn how to be happy without me. And then when we come together as a couple, we can make each other happy. But I can't
Exactly.
make her happy. She has to be able to make herself happy.
Exactly. Because you don't want to become that codependent person. You don't want to be
Right.
that like, because if this person is not genuinely happy, then you can never genuinely be happy. Because at that
Right.
point you have too much responsibility to make another adult happy
Correct.
when it's hard for you to make your own self happy in general. So now
Yep.
I gotta make myself happy and I gotta make my wife happy. And then at that point you start to get that resentment of like, well shit, I can't, like, well, this is gonna make me happy, but if I do this and this is gonna piss off my wife, then it's like, you know, like it's that ultimate catch 22 where it's like no one's gonna end up happy in a marriage, and no one's gonna end up happy
Yeah.
in the house because your kids are gonna be affected too.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta make
And
yourself happy.
What up,
and
Chad?
that's something a lot of people don't
Or
understand,
find
man.
yourself. Actually, if you know
Right.
you real who you are, you're bringing something to the table to add. Like we're supposed to be even stronger together, right?
Right.
You
Exactly.
know, we
But
both are
a
persons
lot of
before we
people
were
don't,
together, and we still gonna be persons while we're together. And then there's things that we're gonna do together. But you still gotta be your own person.
bro. This conversation here I've had with my wife so many times, bro. Like me and my friends, we go out of the country, we hang out all the time. At least 2 times a year, we doing one of the two. And I just told her, you got to find a set of friends that you can do that same thing with, because your happiness can't all reside within me, right? Your happiness can't always be with Bobby. You got to have happiness somewhere else. I've told my wife, like, go out with your sisters and stuff and go have fun. Don't call home.
Right.
Don't call home. Like, don't worry about
We
home. If
good.
something's
We
wrong,
good.
if something's wrong, you're gonna know about it, right? So don't call home. Go out, have your fun, do your little flirting, whatever you got to do. Just go out and have fun.
We'll be
Go out and
here.
have fun, but understand you coming home. If you get what I'm saying, understand you coming home, but find your happiness. Find what you like to do
Right.
outside of me, because I can't be your go all be all. I just can't be that
Exactly.
person.
Exactly. And I told my wife, I said, look, as long as I don't have a motherfucker knocking on the door, talking about this, talking about that, and making or texting me or whatever, I don't care what the fuck you do. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to control you at such a level. I trust you. I trust you're not gonna do anything to hurt me.
That's the thing right there, right?
You know, I trust you're not gonna do anything to hurt me, and I don't care about the details. I just trust that you're not going to bring something home or do something that is going to disrupt me as your husband and disrupt this household. You know,
A bunch of different people, they looking at you
hey, wifey.
because I had the camera on you. But yeah, I get what you're saying,
You know
man.
what I'm
Like
saying? Like, so to me, but no, I look at this as a husband and just looking at it from a spouse wise, and this is what I learned from this is what I learned from my pops. He's like, bro, you can't change what you can't change. And, you can't be everywhere.
Right.
You can't be everywhere. So why stress yourself out and stress out the household worrying about what she
Shit that
may
didn't
or
happen.
may not be doing? Right.
Right.
You can't control the shit.
But
Yeah.
let me tell you something, man. I got a partner that stays in Atlanta right now. He's married, 3 kids. Now, when I say 3 kids, I'm talking about all of them, all three of them up under 5 years of age. So, dude called me one day. He said, "Man, you still in Charlotte?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm in Concord, right outside of Charlotte." He's like, "I might need somewhere to stay tonight." I was like, "Bro, just let me know what time you be here. I talk to my wife about it. We have a conversation, and you got a place to stay, right?" But I'm in my mind like, "Well, why you need somewhere to stay? You got your own place in Atlanta. Are you coming up here for a game or something like that?" He's like, "No, I just found out my wife cheated on me." I was like, "Oh, you did?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay. So what do you mean?" He's like, "I can't stay with her after that." I was like, "Listen, man, the shit that I know you done, the shit that I know you done, like, so you just up and leave because of that, right?" So he was like, "What you mean?" He's like, "What do you?" I told him, I said, "Listen, man, I got a different type of relationship with my wife, right? So for me, now I'm not saying this for my wife because my wife feels different, but for me, my wife cheated on me. That ain't the end of us. That's not the end of us for me, right? Now my wife feels totally different, right? Like she don't play with that bullshit like that. But I'm telling him, I was like, if she knew that his wife then caught him doing stuff and she stayed there, you caught her doing one thing, but you ready to leave,
She got her lick back, bro. Why you
Yep.
right?
mad? Because she got her lick back.
And so what I told him was, I said, "Bro, that's what she doing. Let's get back. She know what you done did, so now she paying you back, and then you want to leave, huh?" We having a conversation about life,
Look,
but no,
I would have told
that's a legit conversation I
my
had with him.
bro. I would have told my bro, you soft as hell. You soft as hell for that shit. Because you go out there, you do what the fuck you do,
But you can't
and
take it.
Yep.
exactly, you soft as fuck.
But you
You
know what
soft as
though?
fuck.
But you know what? That's 90% of us. There's 90% of us. We can go out and do whatever the fuck we do, but when our wives do that shit, we can't take it. That's
Look,
90% of us.
look, man. Ignorance is bliss. That is my motto to my happiness. I don't give a fuck. I don't look for shit. I don't look for shit. I ignore shit. If I
Yeah.
don't have anything knocking at my door, I don't have a DM. I trust my wife has honored her vows. I don't
Likewise.
care if she goes out with a ring on, ring off. I don't care. I trust you to honor your vows. I'm not going to go looking for shit. I'm not looking at your phone. I'm not trying to look at your DMs, nothing like that. My wife is a beautiful woman. I don't want to see her fucking
Cameron.
DMs. I know what fucking nasty ass motherfuckers do to beautiful women when it comes to their DMs. I don't want to look at her DMs. I don't care. I don't care. She says she's out getting her hair done. I trust that my wife is out getting her hair done. I do not care if I do not care to make sure that she's out getting her hair done. She told me she's out getting her hair done right now. That's what I'm gonna believe. And
Bro,
I'm
you
not
just
looking for anything else.
y'all just saw my wife. Here it is, what? 10 o'clock. And I ain't seen my wife since 1. Ain't no questions being asked. Ain't no questions being
Right.
asked. Like, I mean, we for me, we have a partnership and we build more than just a relationship, right? So